we rolling?
Just imagine this.
Okay.
Why did I do something else? No way.
Stop.
That's not me. I'm not doing that. There's no way I'm doing that many. No way.
Alright, we're gonna start the video now. Everyone shut the fuck up.
Jeff the Killer. Jeff was a young boy
There's
who
no
moved
way.
into a new home with his family. One day, 3 teenage boys decided to attack Jeff and his brother.
Is your mic on?
But Jeff managed to fight them off, leaving them in the streets with broken wrists and knife wounds. Unfortunately, after the incident, Jeff realized that he genuinely enjoyed inflicting pain and suffering on people.
I can't hear it.
Later that night, Jeff's mother began to
I can't hear it.
noise coming from
I can't hear this.
Well, here, I can just. It'll just. Here, let me get in the middle so Nick can hear it too. Let me get in the middle. No.
That bowl.
Come up.
from the bathroom of their house. It sounded like someone was crying. When she entered the room, she found Jeff carving a permanent smile into his cheeks. She also realized that he had cut off his eyelids.
Can you turn it up, please?
You're not gonna be able to hear it.
Wait. Oh.
Take him off the mute. Oh, wait. Alright, bye. Hold on, guys. I have to kick him off. You don't want to see this.
After which he murdered his entire family and disappeared into the night. He was never seen again, but legend has it he's looking for his next victim.
Wait. Stop.
Just mute it.
Everybody mute mics. Mute mics.
This is the haunting story of Jeff the Killer.
Ava, you need to mute yours.
Jeff was a
No, because I'm going to be able to hear though. We're still not going to be able to hear anything. I don't hear, but it's next to my Chromebook. I'm the one
One
with the
day,
mic.
3
No, you're
teenage
not.
boys decided to attack Jeff and his brother.
No,
But
the
Jeff
mic on my
managed to fight
Chromebook.
them off, leaving them in the streets with broken wrists and knife wounds. Unfortunately, after the incident, Jeff realized that he genuinely enjoyed inflicting pain and suffering on others.
Oh my
Later
god.
that night, Jeff's mother began to hear a strange noise coming from the bathroom of their house. It sounded like someone was crying. When she entered the room, she found Jeff carving a permanent smile into his cheeks. And she also realized that he had cut off his eyelids so he wouldn't have to sleep. Jeff's final words to his mother were, "Mom, you lied." After which he murdered his entire family and disappeared into the night.
He said, "Mom,
He was
you
never
lied?"
seen again. But legend has it, he's looking for his next victim.
Dang.
This is the story of the haunting exorcisms of Anneliese Michel. In 1968, when she was just 17 years old, a German girl named Anneliese Michel started experiencing devilish hallucinations and a voice telling her that she was damned to hell. Her mother first became concerned when she witnessed Anneliese staring furiously at a statue of the Virgin Mary with her eyes turned jet black and her hands seemed to turn into thick paws with claws. She also started doing extremely disturbing things, such as licking her own urine off the floor, eating flies and spiders, and exhibiting signs of superhuman strength. A priest named Father Wren soon began performing exorcisms on her, and the following clips are from recordings of these exorcisms. This 15-month-old baby kept disappearing from her crib in the middle of the night until her mom decided to install a security camera. 15-month-old Chloe had her own bed with safety guards. Every night her parents, Chris and Nina, would put their baby daughter to bed and close the door so they could get some sleep. Until one morning, Nina woke up early and went to the kitchen to make some breakfast. breakfast. As she was making her coffee, she looked over and was shocked to find Chloe playing with her toys in the living room, surrounded by the family's 2 golden retrievers.
Oh my
Chris and Nina
God.
immediately checked her bed and couldn't understand how she got out of the room because she wasn't tall enough to reach the doorknob. The parents thought this was a one-time thing, but it happened time and time again, so one day they decided to install a baby
Imagine she
cam
just
in
like
Chloe's
flew up
bedroom.
there.
And the next morning, after Chloe had escaped again, they went to the baby cam to see what had happened, and they were absolutely shocked by the footage. Like for part 2.
No.
This 15-month-old baby
Yay.
kept disappearing from her
Go,
crib in
go.
the middle of the night until her mom decided to install
You
a
go,
security
John.
camera.
I
Part
sent it
2.
to you yesterday.
Chloe's parents, Chris and Nina, watched the recording in absolute fascination. Around 6 a.m., Chloe's door burst open and 2 golden retrievers came in to wake her up. It was the family dogs, Colby and Blue, and they didn't feel like waiting, so they burst into Chloe's room early to play with her. They woke Chloe up by licking her face repeatedly until she got out of bed and walked into the hallway to follow the dogs into the family room to go play. Finally, Chris and Nina had an explanation for Chloe's escapes, but given that it was the family's dogs, they weren't too worried about it.
It wasn't even scary.
This is the story of Ghost Baby, the man who was trapped in his own body for 12 years.
What does that
Marcus was a 12-year-old boy growing
What
up
does
in
that
South
even
Africa
mean?
when he went home sick from school. But sadly, Martin never got better.
Wait, mute.
His body weakened, he lost control of his muscles, and he was left unable to communicate. Doctors said that he had a neurodegenerative disease and told his parents that he was unaware of the world around him. But that was completely wrong. He said,
Wait,
That's Basil.
bro. Basil. Are you for real?
Yeah.
Where were you? Are you at home right now?
Yeah.
Why did you join the meet?
I don't know.
All right, mute your mic so we can hear the video.
Right now,
Mute your mic so you can listen to the video. I'm posting this on YouTube.
he was constantly used by his
Gummies.
caretakers, sexually,
Go fish, go fish.
What the
Wait,
heck?
actually, gummies.
that she wished that he was. This all changed when one day
Oh!
he realized that Martin
These are
was
nasty.
actively trying to kill him. He suggested to his parents that they have to do it, and his parents were absolutely shocked by the results of their test.
Look at this. You know what that looks like?
Yeah.
That looks like a ball sack. If you got a ball sack fruit.
Fancy mint. Icebreakers.
You can edit all the ads out.
No! No! I'm gonna get copyrighted! No! No! No!
This is the deja vu theory explained. Okay, so everybody definitely experienced deja vu in their life, but I guarantee this theory will blow your mind. This theory claims that every time you experience deja vu, you are actually having a crossover with yourself in a parallel universe. Meaning whatever you are
what?
doing in this universe, you are doing in another. So many people believe that deja vu happens so that you can try and contact your other self in another universe. Just imagine for a
How do you
second,
get the real ones? I got the fake off-brand ones.
your
Let's
other
see.
self in a completely different universe.
No.
My mind is completely blown, and I guarantee yours is
No.
too. These are scary what-if thoughts that will keep you up at night. What if the air that we breathe is actually poisonous, and it's just taking like 70 to 100 years to kill us? Next, what if plants and trees are actually farming us, giving us oxygen until we eventually decompose and they consume us? That one is just completely mind-blowing.
I just
Finally,
got
what
the
if
same
when we
one.
die, we only lose the ability to do anything, and we just lay there in the coffin, feeling the
You know what
pain
it
of
looks
death
like?
forever.
Brayden.
Pictures that you were never meant to see, part 1. First is a picture
Whoa.
of the Teletubbies without their heads on. This is most likely going to ruin a lot of people's childhoods, including mine. This looks so weird. Next is where the Cliff bar found its cliff. This is super insane.
That's
that somebody
cool.
found this.
Oh, yeah.
And if you don't believe it, just look how perfect it lines up. Next is an x-ray of a pregnant dog. This looks extremely crazy just because how many babies they actually have. Just look at all of them chilling in there. Finally, this last one will keep you up at night. This is what the inside of a turtle's mouth looks like. So next time you see a turtle and you think to yourself that it's cute or something, just think of this photo and it will completely change your mind. These are pictures that will confuse 99% of you, part 3. Up first is a picture of a bunch of backpacks that look like they were hand-drawn. This is extremely confusing, and these backpacks look too fake to be real. Next, everybody knows about the Leaning Tower of Pisa. But I bet you did not know this. Inside of it is completely hollow. This is pretty crazy.
Why do you have
I'm
two
still
people
pretty
in the
confused
meeting?
after
Take
seeing
one
this
out.
photo. Next
There's
is a
two of
picture
you
of a
in there.
UFO that appears to be
You
coming
opened
down
two
from the
tabs.
sky. But actually,
Stop.
it is just a reflection of the window from the light inside the building, making it look like a UFO. Finally is this crazy photo that only 1% of people can see move. So if you see this photo moving, consider yourself lucky. This is what would happen if
I
music
actually
never
see it
existed.
moving.
Music brought together people from the past and present. So if it never existed, those people might have not unified and come together. Next, music helps the human brain make tough decisions, also helps you think and plan. So if music never existed, day-to-day life as a human being would be much more difficult. Also, if music never existed, the human brain would not have developed as highly as they are now, and our bodies probably wouldn't have evolved as they did today. And finally, if music did not exist, dancing would never have been a thing. So, in all honesty, we should all be thankful that we all have music. If you ever saw SpongeBob SquarePants as a kid, then you need to watch this video. Okay, so I'm guessing that
They
everybody saw
monetized me.
SpongeBob as a kid. But I don't think we should be happy about that anymore. Because researchers have come out to say watching SpongeBob SquarePants as a kid may have damaged your brain. They said watching fast-paced cartoons like SpongeBob, even for just a few minutes, could damage abstract thinking, problem-solving skills, and even impulse control. I honestly don't know how true this is, but I really
Yeah, it would be
hope it's
absurd
not,
then, 'cause I've
because
watched-
I think every single
I've watched like every episode.
single episode,
like
5
times.
times. Like 100.
These are life hacks that you need to know, part 2. First, if you're ever heating up leftovers in the microwave, make a circle.
Are you ASMR-ing?
Hey, Nick.
Let's ASMR. Bro! Grayson is ASMR-ing. He's stealing my channel. What's that mean? Mute or you're being banned!
Go in the middle of the food, and this will heat it up more evenly. Next, I know everybody
Okay, I'm gonna
got
go kick
Chinese
out
food once
Bailey.
in their life.
Hold on,
But
it might
did
take
you
a
ever-
Mute your mic.
How are you gonna kick out Basil?
You're gonna go kick him. Sorry, I had to kick him
This
out.
is what you have to do. Hit power refresh. Power off.
No!
I'm changing my background.
This is the deja vu theory explained.
Shut up!
Okay, so
Ow, my booty cheeks.
Whoa.
Yeah, get a pop, get a pop, get a pop.
everybody definitely experienced deja vu in their life. But I guarantee this theory
Go
will
for it,
blow
go for
your
it. Look, hold it down. We're like right there, right there.
This photo moving, considered
one
together,
more.
might have up to existed,
right there.
the human brain would not have developed as highly as they are now, and our bodies probably wouldn't have evolved as they did today. And finally,
Oh.
if music we should all need to watch. I don't think we SpongeBob fast-paced thinking don't know how true this is, but I really hope it's not. Because I think every single kid in the world was watching SpongeBob at least once in their life.
Oh my
These are
god!
life hacks to know part 2. First, if you're ever heating up leftovers in the microwave, make a circle in the middle of the food, and this will heat it up more evenly. Next, I know everybody got Chinese
Hey, wait,
food
get
once
back
in their
in.
life. But did you ever know the containers that they come in are actually meant to be a little plate? So, next time you get Chinese food, you have to try this out. Next up, if you don't have a speaker and you want your music louder, just get a bowl from your kitchen and put your phone into it. It will then act as a speaker and make the music pretty loud. Finally, if you don't have any outlets to charge your phone, most TVs actually have a USB input on the back of them, and you can charge your phone with the TV.
Are you serious? I knew that. I charged my Vector using my Chromebook.
You
That's
didn't know that.
crazy.
Stop lying.
I did. I'm not lying.
Sure.
I charged my Vector with my Chromebook.
Okay.
Loaded chicken flatbread tacos.
LA is a movie.
SMC, that's a romance.
It's a comedy.
It's a comeback story.
I don't wear anything.
Dude, take time.
What the F? What the F? Ooh.
Basil, check your team out.
Hey, mute.
What is this? What is this? We're not
Nick,
watching
mute.
this. I ain't watching. I am mute.
Airport horror stories? No, let's do an animated one. Let's even make the title.
Watching scary TikToks with my
Basil, did it come through yet?
Okay. How does that not make the title?
Oh, I like that.
This is why you should always lock your crawl space. In 2019, a young woman had just moved into the second floor of an apartment building. She noticed a tiny crawl space that connected all the apartments on the floor, but she wrote it off, citing it would be small enough to crawl through that. One night, she walks into her living room, and out of her fire escape is a tiny woman desperately trying to yank open her locked windows. Terrified, she hides behind some furniture until the woman eventually leaves.
That's,
at which
oh
point,
God,
she
that's
runs
gonna keep me
grabs
up.
her phone and calls
Wait, what
the police.
happened?
I watched that at 2 a.m. last
She
night.
hears something above her.
This same
and looks
TikTok
up. One of the
video.
ceiling tiles had popped up, and the woman from the fire escape is staring down at her. She uses
Ew.
the crawl space to get up there.
Bro, I would punch her in the
Screams, and
face.
the woman scurries away.
Oh
It
my!
took 3 days for the police to finally get the woman out of the crawl space and bring her into custody. Turns out she was on some unknown, extremely hard drug and had totally lost her mind.
So what happened? Bro!
I can confirm that this
sorry.
is a true story. In 2004, a 16-year-old boy who was staying with a friend in their cabin up in New Hampshire was having a hard time falling asleep. Around 3 a.m., he was still awake, and he remembers thinking how eerily quiet and totally pitch black the house was. And that's when he heard it. The front door opens, and someone comes inside and begins walking through the house down the hallway right outside of it.
Oh my God.
The door opens and the boy is instantly petrified because in walks this tall, shadowy figure that marches to the center of the room and then bows onto the ground and disappears. The boy stays up all night, terrified that this thing's gonna re-emerge and just keep looking. Finally, he hears his friend's mom making coffee in the kitchen, so he runs out to tell her what happened. The whole time he's explaining what happened, she's just looking at him and saying, finally she says, "My husband visited me last night too. Her husband was dead, and I was that 16-year-old boy."
What?
This girl literally lived a nightmare. A 17-year-old girl was watching TV late at night when her motion detector lights in her driveway suddenly went on. She assumed it was just an animal, so she got up, drew the blinds, and went back to watching TV. And a little bit later, it happened again. Before she could even react, she looks over and clearly makes out a silhouette of a person right behind the blinds who starts banging aggressively on the window. The girl stands up and goes, "I'm gonna call the cops!" And the figure stops for just a second, moves to the sidewalk, and starts pounding even louder on that, screaming incoherently. The girl runs to the bathroom, barricades herself inside while she waits for the police, and then her worst nightmares come true. She hears glass shatter in the other room. After a few minutes of silence, she opens her door just a crack to get a peek outside.
Why?
And standing in her living room next to a broken window is some crazy old woman who looks over at her and starts sprinting toward her. The lady comes smashing into the door and starts wailing on it until the police arrive and take her away. She was a lunatic who had escaped her facility.
Who was she? Bro!
This is why you should never explore the forest at night. Late at night in 2006, two men heard strange noises coming from
A
the
bat
forest.
took him away. Basil, do you want to be banned? Stop.
I know why we can't hear my thing, because I...
Because everyone's muted, that's why.
Wait,
No, it's because you're muted. Exactly. Colin, you muted.
Alright, I'll go back to the thing.
Nick, I told Basil.
After their footage went completely viral, they would admit that they actually only went into the woods just to scare themselves. They didn't actually expect to film anything. At some point on their walk, they start to notice more and more dead birds on the ground, and so one
We're good.
of them gets out his camera to start filming.
Undo your
As
camera.
they're filming the birds, you can tell that they're getting more and more spooked by the whole situation. And then one of the men hears something in the tree line, and the camera.
it would probably help if you like unmute yourself. I think that would help.
Okay, Basil, I mean, not Basil. Wade, please mute and so Ava.
Sounds good, but I will mute. I just have a question.
What?
Answer my question. You know it would help if you unmuted.
Did you know I'm unmuted?
Yeah, you weren't unmuted.
Shut up,
Now
kid.
you were.
Punk.
Yeah, but the one that you're presenting.
Wade, mute! Okay, we're just gonna keep Ava unmuted, alright? I'm gonna turn my volume all the way down.
Human eyes don't reflect light.
Yes, they
If you scare easily, I wouldn't watch this video. In 2013, a mine explorer found this while we look around. He decides to film his experience and upload it to his YouTube channel, where he had uploaded hundreds of other videos of him exploring mines, but he never once references the paranormal or ghosts or anything like
Maybe if
that
I mute
until
this
this video. As soon as he steps foot inside, he tells the camera that he has a really
Hold up, guys, we got technical difficulties. Alright, we're good.
Just mute.
uneasy feeling about being
I'm
here.
gonna keep unmuted so everybody can hear it. Makes it bad. We can hear that fine. Here, hold on. Turn your volume all the way down. Wait, turn your volume all the way down. Turn your volume all the way down. We're just gonna listen from your Chromebook. Hold on, I have an idea. Yes, your eyes do reflect light. Your eyes do reflect light.
Until he gets to a section in the mine where there's
You know
a bunch of
everything you can
chains.
see reflects
He
light.
hears something in the back of the tunnel, so he pulls his flashlight out and he shines it towards the back, and he sees a chain swinging, and it shouldn't be, because there's no draft, and he's all alone, and you can tell he's scared by the way he starts talking. Although he's totally freaked out, he wants to know what's causing the chain to swing, so he goes farther and farther into the mine until he hears something. People whispering in every direction. He gets totally spooked and runs out. If you don't want to sleep tonight, watch the whole video. This story has the best ending ever. In 2003, a 9-year-old was home alone playing video games when he thinks he hears his cat meowing on the back patio, so he goes downstairs to let him in. He sees a deranged-looking man standing on his back patio howling at the sky.
I'm never saying Home
He looks at
Alone.
the boy, he grabs a fistful of cigarette butts from the ashtray, stuffs them in his mouth before he starts howling at the sky some more. After the police take the man away, they come back to talk to the boy and his family. Turns out the man had severe autism and lived in that boy's house up until his mother passed away, at which time he was transitioned to a mental institution. He broke out of that mental institution to go looking for his mom, which is how he came back to this boy's house. 15 years later, that same boy is sitting on his same back patio when he starts to hear that same meowing sound, and he looks up and it's the same autistic man walking towards his house. Knowing the man's story, he invites him into his house. The man's face lights up, he runs inside, starts crying. He was finally home. The men become friends, and every week Tom goes home to visit. As you listen to this crazy story, think about how you would handle this. In the spring of 2003, a highly skilled mountaineer set off for a one-day hike in a Utah canyon. He didn't tell anybody where he was going. As he was descending a narrow portion of the canyon, a boulder came dislodged and landed on his right arm and hand, pinning him there. Initially, he tried everything he could to get his hand free, but he couldn't do it. He even considered amputating, but his knife couldn't cut through the bone. After 5 days, he was out of water and he knew that he was about to die. So he took out his camera and recorded goodbyes to his family before falling asleep, believing he would never wake up again. When he woke up the next morning and hadn't died, he suddenly felt totally motivated to live. And so he did the unthinkable. He managed to break his arm using torque and then cut through the break in his arm with his dull pocket knife. It took him almost 2 hours to do this. After the amputation, he was able to rappel down and get the help that he needed. Aaron Ralston is quoted as saying, "I did not lose my arm, I gained back my life."
He did what?
If you're alone right now, don't watch this video. In the winter of 2018, a man who was living alone in the mountains wakes up to find a red ball sitting on his front yard. He assumed that the only neighbor he had must have kids, and so he kicks the ball over the fence, goes inside, doesn't think anything of it. That night, he wakes up to the sound of kids laughing outside of his window. He goes outside to check on them because it's the middle of the night, and there's no kids anywhere, but that red ball is back on his property. So he picks it up, brings it in his house, and goes back to bed. The next morning, he goes over to his neighbor's house to let them know that their kids are out in his yard in the middle of the night. But it turns out his neighbor is just some old man who lives alone, and there aren't any kids anywhere in the area. That night, he wakes up again to the sound of kids on his property, and when he looks outside, there's no kids, but that red ball is back on his property. Panicked, he runs downstairs to make sure the one he brought in is still inside, and it's gone. He checked every window and door, and everything was still locked. It didn't make any sense. He decides to look out the window one more time, and off in the distance is some weird, stiff figure watching him.
Oh, dang.
It's what she finds in the kitchen that's really scary. In the early 90s, a young girl was sleeping in her mom's bed when she suddenly woke up for no reason.
Basically,
Okay,
you're home alone.
tell me when this is done. I don't want to.
Basically, you're home alone.
True story.
You're home alone right now?
You told me when this is done.
Show me around your house. Show me your patio and everything. There's no way you're home alone.
1% mode.
Oh yeah, he's
Oh my God, he is home alone. Show me your patio. Where's your dad right now?
His dad is
downstairs.
I know.
I'll even
Or he's
scream
on
dad.
sideline.
Dad!
Scream it again.
He's on sideline.
Dad!
Where is he?
He's on sideline.
He went to go pick up Madison.
I know where his dad goes.
Look,
All right. Well, mute. We'll stay with you. We'll stay with you.
my car is not here.
All right, mute. You probably need to go back inside.
Mute, Basil, mute.
Mute while you're showing us. All right, we're just gonna. You can just show us. We're gonna play it along.
Very
We're just gonna.
affectionate cat kind of meowing down the hall as if someone was coming up to pet it, but she was next to her mom, and they were the only ones in the house. The girl
No, that's the only reason we can hear the video.
shakes her mom awake and points to the cat just as a man is walking past the door and disappears into the room across the hall. Before the man could come back out and find them, they both jump out the window, run across the street, and call the police. When the police arrive, the guy is nowhere to be found, but they do discover that the front door was unlocked, so that had to be the way he got in. And
What?
But the mother.
So here's why you need to lock your front door.
She locked that door before she went to bed. A week later, the mother's cleaning their kitchen, and she opens up the water heater closet where she finds this notebook.
I need a snack.
And inside is their names and pictures of them in it, along with a pair of surgical gloves. Which means someone had snuck in at some point, was living in that closet, spying on them, and then walking around their house at night.
Can I have some of that?
Hershey?
If you scare easily, this is not the video for you. In 2001, teens decide to explore an abandoned mansion that locals believe a satanic cult was using to perform sadistic rituals. They go in through a basement window and find a piece of raw meat sitting on the ground with stones around it. It creeps them out, but they keep going. They make it to the first floor, but it's so hot up there they think something's on fire and they run away. The next night, they're feeling brave and decide to go back to the mansion and explore the top floors. They were not ready for what they found.
I'm gonna sit right here.
Can
Basil,
I not
mute your
have
mic.
a Jolly Rancher?
Yep, there you go.
Oh man, I dropped mine though. Oh dear.
Experts believe.
Alright. That's the end of the video, guys. Hope you had fun. Bye.